On 107.9 FM, this is GTFM if you're listening online as well. Good morning to you. 12 minutes after 11 o'clock, there was Jax Jones and Mabel and Ring Ring, and before that it was Tommy Edwards and It's All in the Game. 12 after 11, and it's time to say now a big warm good morning to my very special guest, Welsh actor David Garland Jones. That sounds very posh, Dave, doesn't it?
It does indeed. Yes. Yes.
That's because it is posh, and you're very welcome to the show. Treforest born and bred?
Yeah, of course, my real name is Russell Gomer, but David Garland Jones often comes out in me to such an extent that I become him so perfectly I can't tell the difference myself. I don't know where he begins and I end.
So there's people now who know you as Russell Gomer, and they say, I thought he was Russ. David Garland Jones, what's Williams on about? Yeah.
This is the power of the internet. Put something up on YouTube with a nom de plume, way to go.
So Treforest, born and bred,
Yeah.
went to school, I presume, in Pontypridd.
I did. Fantastic memories of Ponty Boys Grammar.
Yeah.
Oh, they knew to make the headmasters back in those days. I still got the stripes.
Did
or
Tom...
maybe strips. I don't know. Yeah.
That was it, yeah.
It's called strips.
Right, Tom Jones comes from Treforest. Any connection with Tom, the family, or do you know any of his cousins? Because everybody knows a cousin of Tom, don't they?
I once lingered outside his house, and he had long since vacated the premises, but that's about it, really.
Yeah.
But I mean, I admire him, he's great. It's good to have a Treforest lad, isn't it?
Yeah.
With such renown and skill and talent.
Mm. Absolutely. Right, okay. So what put you onto the path of acting then? Did you go to drama school? Did it start indeed in school?
No, not at all. Again, back to the grammar school, there was nothing like drama there. In fact, we couldn't play football, it was all cricket and rugby. It was very, very old school stuff. And so no drama, and I hadn't thought about it at all. Nothing in my family, no history of it. But I liked films, and I did go to the theatre.
Did you ever watch Zulu?
Zulu, yeah.
Harlech!
Yeah.
They were the days!
Oh, one of my favourites,
Brilliant.
An example of the sequel not being anything as good as the initial film. But yeah, what was I? Oh yeah, but a great friend of mine, bosom pal, my best friend, I was best man at his wedding, he was best man at mine, Dorian Thomas, who many people will know as Greyo in the film. I should be close to the mic. Sorry, Gareth, just getting carried away. Yeah.
Come this way a little bit. That's it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So
yeah, my good friend Dorian Thomas, who was a year older than I, and he played the part of Greyo in Twin Town.
Right. Yes.
Known for other things, but that's one of the biggest things he did, I think, of great acclaim. Sadly, he passed away 5 years ago now. But he had gone to college and drama college and told me some great anecdotes about that, tales, and I thought I'd got to be there.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good sort of a way to live, a way that's free, sort of your own boss.
But it's just like a young lad. He has this dream of playing for Manchester United and Liverpool in football, or maybe playing for Wales in rugby. It's easier said than done. You have to have that talent, haven't you?
I suppose. I think I've thought about this a lot, and I think you have to have a certain amount of talent, but if you have the determination, I think that helps that talent. It brings it on more. You feel more confident in what you've got and are able to develop it. Somebody who lacks confidence, they may have talent, but they're not going to get any more of that talent out unless they really concentrate on being determined and working hard at it.
So you were obviously determined. So did you go to drama school then?
I did. I then went to the Welsh College of Music and Drama, the Royal Welsh College now, of course. It wasn't when I was there.
Following in the footsteps of some very famous Welsh actors. Well, Anthony Hopkins comes to mind straight away,
Anthony
didn't
Hopkins, yeah, yes.
Did Michael Sheen go there as well? I know Rob Brydon did, didn't he?
Rob, yeah, yes, actually, he was. I was there at the same time as Rob. That's right. He was a year lower than I was. I hate the word lower. A year later than I was. So
yeah,
for 2 years we coincided.
Yeah. Did you ever meet up? Did you ever do anything with him?
We did a few things in the theatre, sort of extracurricular things.
You mean in the theatre?
Yes, the Butte Theatre.
Yes.
So
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, part of college. Yeah.
I do some stuff for Cardiff Castle, so I know a little bit about the Boot Theatre.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we used to like doing a lot of extra stuff.
Yes.
Yes, you know, part of the course is doing plays and stuff that they select for you, the powers that be, the tutors.
Yeah.
But we used to do a lot of reviews and sort of political satire and stuff in the theatre for the amusement of our fellow students.
Now you do like Shakespeare.
I do. I love Shakespeare.
Yeah. A little birdie told me that David is very good actually with Shakespeare.
Oh yes.
Can you do a couple of lines for us now? Anything off the top of your head that you can think of? It's no pressure here, of course.
An on and on, sir. How about that?
That's
that was one of my
fantastic.
favourite lines of Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I think he captures it there, doesn't he? The rhythm and everything. And on and on, sir. I can do it as a young boy. And on, sir.
Yes.
Or as a sexy woman. And on, sir. I mean,
a non-announcer.
and now, sir.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
My favourite line is one of my favourite lines is some haunted by the ghosts of those they have deposed. I don't know why it's my favourite line.
Yeah. Have you been up to Stratford at all, to the theatre there?
Yeah, several times.
Yeah.
I worked for the RSC for
Oh right. Okay.
2 contracts.
Yeah.
We did Cyrano de Bergerac with Anthony Sher, playing Cyrano, of course. And Robert Lindsay as Richard III.
All right.
We did that.
Yeah. No,
That was great. Up in the West End then for 3 months afterwards.
Yes.
You know.
Now, when you finish, being as I've mentioned Stratford's and the Royal Shakespeare Company, I mean, what happens after you do the show? Is it a question of, shall we go for a little drink in the pub? Is it quite normal like that? Or do people just go off to the hotels and get some sleep, that sort of thing?
There are the people who will go home quietly, and then the vast majority who will get plastered. I'm of the majority. You know,
As you do. As you do. So you went to college in Cardiff, and then of course it gets a bit trickier because then you've got to start having some parts, haven't you?
Yeah.
So how did you do? Can you remember your first part?
Well, it's like the catch-22 situation. Back in my day, when I left, it was the equity law was in that you have to have an equity card to work professionally, and to get an equity card you had to work professionally. So you know, every sort of company had 2 cards a year to dish out. The rep companies, they don't exist really so much now.
No.
Only 2 cards a year. So you had to audition and be one of the lucky 2. So the chances of that are slim. So the other way of doing it was to get 8 variety kind of contracts from clubs, working men's clubs or whatever, and do some kind of stand-up or a little sort of company of doing reviews. And we formed a thing called Finishing School. 2 ladies, 3 guys, and we did sort of political reviews.
A bit like David Frost did probably back in the 60s.
Yeah, a bit like that.
Yeah,
yeah.
It
was mental stuff.
And of course it's a good foundation as well, because going back to That Was the Week That Was, John Cleese, Ronnie Barker, Ronnie Corbett, it was such a good grounding for those great comedians as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, they'd already trod the line, hadn't they? You know, sort of. We were well schooled in all that kind of thing. I think we admired them and managed to get a nice little show together.
He looks up at him because he looks down at him. But it's fascinating stuff. So you get your first couple of parts. I presume then you gain a bit of confidence. People have confidence in you, and it sort of snowballs from there, Russ.
I think so. Yeah, you make alliances. If you do, you're only as good as your last job to a certain extent. You do something well. That director, I've clocked him, right? His name's on my list. Yeah. And then with sort of, that's with theatre, then with TV, casting directors, you court the casting directors as much as you can. Yeah. So
you come on to television now, and of course you've been in many shows, David, over the years. I got to mention, of course, Stella, and even though that's quite recent, we'll go back to past work as well. But that must have been a great gig to be accepted with Ruth.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think it was the year before, that's right, I met Steve Spears. We were doing a film called Hunky Dory in Swansea. Minnie Driver was the protagonist in that. And it's a musical. But unlike most musicals, it's more organic. So it's about the school putting on a musical, as it were. And it was set in the summer of '76.
The long hot summer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's been pretty good this year as well, hasn't it?
Absolutely, hasn't it? Yeah, it reminds me of that actually.
Yeah.
Very good. And of course, everyone had long hair, and those strange sort of mustachios had come down there.
Dodgy flares.
Yeah, it was great to dress up.
The good old days, yeah.
Oh, and Aled Pugh, my good buddy from Stella, who plays Bobby, is also on that job.
Yeah.
And but it was set in the summer of '76, as I say, but it bucketed down with rain every day, and for 6 days we were stuck in the Winnebagos, you know, knocking each other up because we were bored, and regaling each other with anecdotes. Yeah. Now, for 6 days we spent at that, and then Steve said, "Oh, there's this thing Stella that I'm helping write with Ruth Jones, you know, tell your agent about it." And both myself and Aled did that to our respective agents, and managed to get sort of an interview and a reading for the part.
Right, excellent. And you played the part, of course, of Yanto. Nice little part.
Thank you. Yes, I enjoyed that part very much.
Yeah.
It's a bit of freedom with Yanto.
Yes. Yeah. And how do you go about playing the part? Have you got something in mind? You've got your script there, you think, right, I'm going to do it this way, then I'll do it that way. Is it a bit like that?
I think it was because when Yanto first came into the series, it was a one-off scene, just in one episode. That's the way the character was written, as the barman of one of the ex-servicemen's clubs of the area. Yanto the barman, that's what was written on the script. And it was a longish scene, so, to do with the plot, which is good. That's the kind of part you want. If you're doing one single scene, it's something that helps the plot along, then you can work with it.
Right.
And I did that, and we enjoyed doing it. And I think Ruth got the idea that she liked the character so much that she would write him into the next series. So the second series, then he was a fully fledged sort of character of the company.
Yeah, and it's such a memorable series, and of course the pressure was on Ruth as well because of the success of Gavin and Stacey. I guess she had to get it right, didn't she?
Oh yeah, I mean immense pressure, and I think it's because it's Welsh product. I hate the word product, but you know where I'm coming from, right? Yeah. It's ours, completely ours. Yeah. It's not subsumed by a lot of English characters coming into it. Yes, there were a few, but that's the nature of what's out there now, you know. It's like that. But most sort of things written in Wales certainly have the minority of characters being Welsh. Yeah, and everyone else is English or Scottish or whatever. Yeah. And you know, but that's the way that they wanted to grab the bums on seats for the TV audience. And she was brave enough to get away from that, make it totally set in Wales with Welsh people, with some people who came in from time to time from outside. But of course that takes good writing and will and belief. And she got a great style together.
And of course David as well, her husband, of course, he co-wrote it with her, did he?
David Pete, yeah. That's right. I mean, developed the idea with her. Ruth would always write at least 2 episodes of every 10. Right. A series of 10, of course, yeah. And Steve Spears would write another 2, and then the other 6 would be given to writers who wanted to come in on it.
And I take it that's for fresh ideas, maybe? Or to take it in a certain direction?
Yeah, I think she wanted to be a bit risque with it, without going overboard. But yes, so it does have a freshness to the writing because of that. And she just thinks outside the box a lot of the time in her writing, as does Steve. And Steve is, I think, a bit more risque. So between the two of them, they melded this kind of style together, which kind of really worked. And I always felt, one of the greatest things about this particular show, I always felt that I was doing something for Wales, you know, playing for the national side.
That's it, getting your cap on.
Yeah, we all felt that, you know. It's like, we're being capped to every sort of series.
Yeah. I mean, before we come on to what you're doing now, David, I mean, can you see it ever coming back, Gavin and Stacey I'm talking about? Or do you think, obviously, with James now living and working and such a huge success in America with the Late Late Show, do you think they might even do maybe a Christmas special or something?
As to Gavin and Stacey, I have no idea. I mean, I suppose anything is possible, given people's very busy schedules now. I mean, the people involved there, right? but maybe as to Stella, I don't think so. I think that's been explored. Ruth explored that. She's done it. She put the lid on it. A lovely little full stop, I thought.
Yeah.
That last episode of the last series, just beautifully done.
Yeah.
And, you know, the danger with that is to go too cheesy. And she just held back from that. So it's pulled the heartstrings without getting cheesy. A lovely full stop, and I think that's it.
Right.
And I think a lot of the actors in it, we had that experience, and there's other pastures out there as well now.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about the pastures, what's David doing now?
Well, David or Russell?
But both, really. Let's mix it up.
Well, as Russ, I've just finished a radio series in North Wales, Carnarvon. It was in Welsh language. Now, my Welsh isn't that great, but I really swatted up on it. I worked hard at it. Written by my good friend Ian Rowlands, very poetic writer. And it's about the Cymraeg Newydd, the new Welsh, which is more like street Welsh, which is very, very topical at the moment.
Yeah.
We've got another 2 series to do of that. As David Garland Jones, but the success of David Garland Jones, was itsy bitsy, because we didn't have the iPhone and smartphone when we myself and John Tregenna, BAFTA-winning writer, when we started doing it. A lot of it was improvised, with guerrilla tactics. Sometimes we had to do something in a very public place and then run away. And I'm not talking about anything indecent here.
Right, okay.
You know, things that might get at people's guts, and then we ran away.
Filming starts at 1 a.m.
We sort of on the Who followers, sort of working out what we're going to do and improvising. And some people thought it was very real and could take exception, and other people understood what the gag was and sort of improvised with us. Yeah. And so on. So it was a series of films. I think there's more than 100 videos out there on YouTube as for David Garland Jones now, including the spoof song ones and all that. But I want to develop now an idea for TV with my good pal John, and it'll be a kind of David Garland Jones thing, but set in Elizabethan England.
All right.
That's sort of the idea that he may be William Shakespeare's older and totally unsuccessful brother. So
the idea is great.
David Garland Shakespeare.
David Garland Shakespeare.
We're working on that at the moment. We've got a great filmmaker, John Bonham Carter, who is actually related to
Helen.
Carter.
Yes. You could get it. You'll be our folks. It's 1 a.m. in the morning. Oh dear. It's brilliant.
So we're going to get that together. He's a beautiful filmmaker, and the idea is that the situation comedy would be filmed beautifully with that kind of period thing. And we've worked out a way to do period stuff on a low budget, which is very difficult to do.
Because a lot of companies now, these private companies, they take the series on, they develop it, they film it, and then I guess they sell it then to the BBCs and the ITVs and the Skies.
That's one way of going. Yeah, that's of course there are people who are very much in the mix. I suppose it's easier to get commissions then if the company's a long-standing one. But any new setup, that takes some business. That does to get it going.
And of course the importance these days of good old YouTube as well.
That can be a big help. But then everyone's got the same tools, so it kind of evens the ground out, doesn't it? And it can be a double-edged weapon as well, of course.
Yes.
I mean, because of that, you kind of have to police yourself a lot. And I think what happens then, the danger of always being PC comes into play.
Yeah.
You know, and that takes a lot of the excitement and rawness out of things. It makes things less ridiculous, and things are ridiculous.
I think it's fair to say a good example is Till Death Do Us Parts. In the day, you know, it was such a funny comedy, but because of PC, it just cannot be broadcast anymore.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
That one, I actually, I agree with that one totally. Come on. That did have its day, didn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Let's just
what was Johnny's big thing?
Window now.
Even the thought of broadcasting, as well acted as it was, obviously, we can't take anything away from the actors, of course. But of course, it's a different time. It's a different place now.
Well, what they're still useful for, though, of course, is looking back at that time and looking at the mistakes that we made and sort of just all that
Yeah.
wrongness.
Yes, yeah.
That's the only they're good for that.
Yeah.
As part of our history, we can't sweep it under the carpet totally.
No.
It's part of our history, and we learn from history,
Yes.
don't we?
Yeah. So are you hoping to get this off the ground in the next couple of weeks or months? This new project?
Well, as soon as possible. It's difficult to say how long it takes because of the nature of it being a period thing. The period stuff isn't done by BBC Wales now, you see, or any of the companies there, because it costs more. Costume itself costs a lot. Then you've got sets. If you're going to build a set, or if you're going to find one of those old sort of period houses to do it, that's cost. But we've kind of worked out a way we can do it.
That's
For
good. That's good.
little cost. And
Yeah.
it's going to look good. So, but it does take time.
Yeah.
But I'm here. I'm working on it. I'm excited by it.
Yeah. Well, listen, Russ, David, thank you for coming in to have a chat with us and giving us an idea of what's coming up in the coming months, and of course, quite a few things on the CV already.
Yeah. Well, I want to get some more now. Of course.
Yeah.
Hungry for it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay then, David. Well, thanks very much for coming in to have a chat.
Thank you. That's Russ.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's David.
Okay. All the best for the new project, and do come back and have a chat with us in the coming months and give us an update.
I will do. Cheers,
Okay.
Gareth.
Okay. Cheers, buddy. Should we say so long?
So long. Framed.
Thank you.